The box of postcards. Good evening, friends. Come closer to the fire where the flames hold our warmest stories. Hear the logs crackle as if calling something dear to mind. Tonight, I'll tell you about Marge, a woman who found a box of postcards, not just paper, but a bridge to her youth, her family, and a love she nearly forgot. Marge was 58. She returned to her hometown in Missouri to sell the old family home. The house sat on a quiet street with peeling paint and a porch once lined with flower pots. Inside, it smelled of dust, her mother's soap, and her childhood, a scent she hadn't noticed in years. Marge hadn't been here in 25 years. She wandered through the rooms, each corner alive with memories. The kitchen, where her father fried eggs on Sundays. The living room, where they pieced together puzzles on winter nights. In a closet, under a stack of old blankets, she found a tin box, worn, with a faded label, Marge. Inside were dozens of postcards. She'd sent them to her parents in her youth, hitchhiking across America. Marge opened one, showing the Grand Canyon, and her heart tightened. These postcards were her voice from the past, full of dreams and freedom. In the 70s, when Marge was 19, she was bursting with life. Her father, a mechanic with a kind smile, always wore flannel shirts that smelled of oil. Her mother, a school librarian, collected recipes and knitted sweaters. Marge dreamed of seeing the world beyond Missouri. In the summer of 1976, she packed a backpack, took $10, and hit the road. She hitchhiked through California, Arizona, Colorado, mailing her parents postcards from every stop. One, from Santa Monica's beach, read, "Mom, I saw the ocean. It's endless." Another, from Yellowstone, said, "Dad, there are bears, but I'm okay." She lived in hippie communes, danced by campfires, slept under stars. Her parents replied with letters full of care. "Marge, wear a warm jacket," or "Don't forget to call." Their love was her anchor, but she didn't see how much they missed her. In Colorado, trouble struck. She was robbed, left with no money or backpack. Marge didn't call home, fearing their disappointment. She vanished for 3 months, sending no postcards, nearly losing them. Those months, Marge worked in a diner to scrape together money for the trip back. She felt lost, but shame kept her from calling. Finally, in the winter of 1977, she returned home, gaunt, with a tattered backpack. Her mother hugged her so tightly Marge could barely breathe. Her father, usually stoic, wept, holding her close. "We thought you were gone forever," her mother said. They didn't scold, only fed her soup and wrapped her in blankets. Marge saw how much she'd scared them. After that, she stayed in Missouri, went to college, became a teacher, got married. But she rarely visited the family home. Life swept her away. Her parents aged, wrote her letters, but Marge replied briefly, caught up in her world. When her father died 10 years ago, she came to the funeral, but left quickly. Her mother passed last spring, and Marge missed her goodbye again. Shame and distance kept her away. Now, sitting by the fire, Marge flipped through the postcards. Each was a snapshot of her youth. Desert sunsets, mountains, oceans. On the back, her handwriting brimming with excitement, and her mother's notes. Marge, 1976, Arizona. She found the Colorado postcard, the last before her silence. Beneath her words, her mother had penciled, We're waiting for you always. Marge cried, but the tears were warm. She saw her parents reading her postcards at the kitchen table, their faces full of love and worry. At the bottom of the box, under the postcards, was a letter from her mother, written before her death. Marge, your travels were my window to the world, she wrote. You were always our joy. I'm sorry I didn't say it more. Marge pressed the letter to her chest, feeling their love reach across the years. They'd never stopped waiting, even when she was silent. Marge didn't sell the house. She fixed it up, framed the postcards above the fireplace, a map of her youth. Every Sunday she came back, brewed tea, and remembered her parents, their laughter, their hugs. She wrote them a letter, full of words she hadn't said. Thank you for being my home. It went into the tin box beside their love. Sometimes we wander far, but the heart knows the way home. Where does your heart call you? Thank you for listening to this story. Subscribe to hear more right here by the fireside.